Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Tush Push is here to stay. The NFL's haters and losers come up short in their proposal to ban the signature play. Meanwhile, Nick Sirianni has been signed to a multi-year extension, and the Eagles will be featured on the in-season version of Hard Knocks along with the rest of the NFC East. The Phillies keep the wins coming and now own the best record in the National League. The Phils suffer a big blow, however, as Jose Alvarado is suspended 80 games for PED use and will not be eligible for the postseason. How will the team handle his absence in the short and long term? Mick Abel throws a gem in his big league debut. Will he have a role to play going forward? All that more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
So far, so good. The week's starting off before Memorial Day weekend. Again, another little sit down here while it rains outside, getting a little cold and damp, but feeling pretty good. Fully recuperated over the weekend, or after the weekend, I should say, at the Italian Market Fest, followed by seeing our good lad here, Avery, on the stage for the first time in a couple years with
yes, sir.
Manalishi.
Hey,
Manalishi, come on now. Played a hell of a show.
Old rock and roll.
That shit was sick. So yeah, man, can't complain.
Yeah, the show whipped a Rams behind with a belt. A lot of people met the band. Man, at least she can really knock it out. They can really rock it like a magic kiss. Nah, but shout out Wesley Willis. All jokes aside, it was a fun weekend. We did not find Cha-Cha, though.
No.
Nah.
Or any new characters to replace her, which is, obviously she's irreplaceable.
We found that bird.
Oh, yeah, we got the parrot.
Yeah, the parrot that was on my shoulder. That was cool.
True. Go birds.
When did that happen?
That red bird.
At the Italian Market Festival outside. I guess it was right outside steps.
I wasn't there for this.
Yeah, this dude was just walking around with a red parrot. It was cool.
Oh, shit.
He sat on all our little shoulders. You got to feed him some food and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was probably the highlight. What else did we do that day? We just bar hopped a bunch.
We bopped around a lot. It was a long day.
Yeah.
We held that tradition true, but no special characters, which is okay. You know, makes for a good commentary when it happens. But those people are like farts in the wind; can never quite catch them. But when you smell it, you know it's there.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, what else? What else happened? We had that guy commenting about our feet.
Oh yeah, what's his? I guess we don't know the name, so sorry about that. I didn't remember it, but.
Yeah, we get some colorful YouTube commenters,
Once we get these
some two fans.
Once we get these puppies on the beach, I get all cleaned up with that sand. Then
we all got to go get. We got to go get some. Get some pedicures, and then we'll get back to you.
Then we'll whip the old feet out for everybody.
We'll start making some. Then maybe this pal will start making some money.
Yeah,
we'll start an OnlyFans podcast.
Yeah, man.
It
is insane how much people make from like if I was
dude, it's wild.
If I were a woman, or if I could make my feet look like women's feet.
Yeah, I mean, there's a market out there for men's feet too. I tell you what,
that is true. I mean, I guess you could, but
or anybody's feet for that matter. I mean, you just got to be confident about it.
It's
all about product placement.
But yeah, I mean, it's, hey.
You got to have those.
Everyone's got to make some money one way or another.
Listen, we'll take fans from wherever. Well, maybe not wherever, but we'll take them when we can get them that way. So I'm into it.
If I can put that big old bunion up when it's nice and swollen after a long weekend.
That could be an asset for you. So there's probably some people that are really
definitely.
Into
there's a
bunion fetish.
Yeah, there's the bunion subreddit's a wild place, yo.
Oh yeah,
I don't think I've ever talked about this on the pod
bunion
before.
Subreddit.
There's a whole subreddit dedicated to bunions, but there's only a few rules. One of the rules is no creeps.
No creeps.
Yeah, but it's still there are some people that still find their ways in there.
I mean, of course,
talking some creepy stuff, looking at someone's bunion 6 weeks post-op. Just like, come on, man! Like, what are you getting on someone about their feet for like that? Like, they just had surgery. They probably don't feel too good. The last thing they need is you sexualizing their toenail. Like, get a grip, dude. It'd be like that sometimes. It's a wild place. The bunion subreddit's probably one of my favorite subreddits. I go on there not because I'm like that. You know what I mean?
No, you follow the rules.
Are you a Trojan horse freak in there?
Nah,
just waiting for your moment?
Nah, I'm there relating to my fellow bunion comrades. Like, I just go there and like I got to see what they're doing to like ease their pain.
Yeah.
Some people will go on there with like bunions way worse than mine. I'm like, damn, it must be really rough right now.
Not having a bunion, I would be not a pervert creep, but just creep it in the chat without having any input. So that would just be, and that's why I've never found my way to that chat. So
yeah, it's for a select group.
Yeah,
I respect it.
It's a niche community.
Yeah, I get it. I give you guys your space.
Yeah, it's It's up there. It's one of my favorite subreddits. What else is a good subreddit? Y'all ever go on Reddit?
Yeah.
No, I never got into Reddit. I don't. It's just something about the just the interface and just the way that it looks like bothers me. It just like I don't know. It's too chaotic. It like makes my eyes hurt.
There is a lot going on, but I tell you what, I use a lot more to like search like recipes or like looking up restaurants too, or even like if you're on playing video games, definitely. If you have like
that's a good point.
Stuck on a hard level, just like asking that before you like look up the whole actual cheat and all that shit. But I've looked up so much shit on there now that like if I like search something on my phone, that's like one of the first like things that pop up as like a reference to click on first, which is kind of cool. You know, I don't mind that. Yeah. But it's interesting, but I get it. It is a little bit chaotic to know like where to click and look and whatever, but I'm into it.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of info off there.
Oh, shit. We actually... So Hannah's mom, funny story enough, lost her car key in her car. And she's got a push button to start the car. So, like, she could start the car in the driveway.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And she drove to the liquor store to test it out. She left the other key in the house. It's not that far, you know. Her dad could have, you know, Drew Gary could drive down and give the other key up to start the car up. Goes to the liquor store, closes the door, goes in, buys whatever, comes back out, and the car could start again. So it was far enough away that, like, if it was in the house somewhere, the car wouldn't be able to start. So we had this weird...
Hold on, what do you mean?
Like, she drove to the
liquor store.
Just to make sure that the other key wasn't close enough, because she has a second key. So she drove far enough away without the other key to make sure, like, okay, if it's in the car, it'll start again. And it started again. So it was somewhere in the car.
Somewhere in the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a problem because then someone could just
she had to keep. Well, she would park it again and lock it with the key that she had. So if it happened to be unlocked, somebody could go in there and take it and drive away. But Reddit, Hannah just typed in, you know, hey, lost the key in the car. Where are some good spots to look? We searched this car up and down. Reddit was like, there's a weird cap on the back of the track of the seat that sits on that it sometimes gets underneath of that. And I swear to God, I went in there into the car right after she read that. I lifted up a little bit, felt a little key ring. It was in that exact spot.
That's fascinating.
Damn.
So Reddit, man, I'm telling you, it's a crazy game.
No, you can get a lot of good info off there. Video games, I get a lot of info. Sometimes I'll be asking. Sometimes I go on like some of the sports teams' Reddits and read what like, you know, people are saying about the Sixers or like right now all the talk is like the WNBA subreddit. Everyone's talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Yeah. It's like, dog, just
hot
let them
topic
breathe.
For sure.
It's like it's been 1 game, 2 games. Like, get a grip.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's just as incendiary as any other social media network. But sometimes you get some good stuff off there.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I'm like, damn, holy shit. But yeah, enough about Reddit though. I mean, I'm sure Reddit right now has a lot of the tush push conversation right now. A lot of memes coming out too on social media, which is good to see.
Even the Eagles were getting involved.
They were trolling everybody.
Some of the memes the Eagles were posting on their socials had me dying, dude. The one where it's just all the Hurts faces. It's like happy, sad, tired, angry, exhausted, whatever. And then it's just the tush push isn't banned and he's just smiling.
Yeah, or 4th and 1.
Or whatever. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So then in celebration of that...
Yeah, this is just as good as an Eagles victory. I mean, it's an Eagles victory over the NFL.
It is
to get an Eagles W in the offseason is kind of fun.
Victory over the haters and losers.
Yeah, who's celebrating football wins on May 21st?
Go
Austin,
Birds.
Philadelphia.
Go
Eagle
Birds,
up,
baby.
baby. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah, I guess we can start with that first since that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, the haters and the losers, they lost 22-10. Ironically enough, the same score that we beat the Packers by.
Yeah, even though they had the 22 this time, but not enough.
Right,
in
voting
75%.
Terms, right. We still won with that victory.
Thankfully, the NFL bylaws require a pretty solid supermajority to change the rules.
Democracy wins again.
Yeah.
But, hey, I mean... You know, not for nothing though. The way that the rule was written was pretty impossible.
It was pretty poorly. I mean, it's kind of amazing to me how you have months to figure this out, and that was the best that they could come up with.
Right.
It's still very vague, and I don't know.
You went on the medical thing, and I was like, all right, they got something here. That makes sense. People love player safety. Fully get that.
The NFL
You took a few months off to like recalibrate that. They're like, ooh, we got close. Let's figure it out. And you went with the most vague, just don't push or shove anybody, ganging up on anybody. It's like, well, that every other play has that involved, whether or not there's people catching the ball or being at the 1 yard line or having a 1 yard play. So
Yeah,
I think they fucked themselves over with that, to be honest with you. But it was close.
Yeah, I mean, only 2 votes away. So we have does anyone have like the list of the teams that
I had it here for a
the
quick
good
second.
guys?
For the good guys?
The new good guys.
I'll tell you
in
what.
the NFL.
Oh yeah. It was
The Jets finally showed up and did
The
something.
Jets, the Patriots.
It was
were on
the
there. I think it was like the whole AFC East.
The
It was
Eagles, the Ravens,
Oh, you got it.
the Browns, the Lions, the Jags, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Saints, the Jets, and the Titans, oddly enough.
So you know what I got to say to that? Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen, man. As Nick Sirianni said last time when this was up for vote, their teams better vote against it or vote against the ban because that play helped them get jobs.
Damn.
Sure enough, these traitorous bitches, dude, ready to turn code on Nick Sirianni, the guy that helped them make a living for themselves and their family. They're going to vote against it.
pulling up the ladder after.
yeah.
Johnny Gans, we already didn't like you. You are already public enemy number 1. You still are. I mean, you can't go any higher than that. The Green Bay Packers are close, though, for even trying this dastardly
Steichen, too,
thing.
you got this shit going down. He's on the hot seat this season. That team's a fucking dumpster fire. Now you got no owner, too. All right. I mean, dead.
I don't care.
I'm just saying.
R.I.P. for Jim Ertz.
That's why I stopped to pee. I stopped to pee.
The last thing he ever got to do was lose.
Yeah. R.I.P.ness.
Yeah. Going back to last week.
Nah, I'll play.
R.I.P.ness.
Yeah.
R.I.P. these nuts, dude.
Yeah.
My ass.
The tush push of death right there. So, claim their first victim. Karma's a bitch. Sucks to suck. So, we'll see, man. But I'm into it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think it's funny, like the list you read off of the teams that voted against it. Where is this tweet from? I think this was a Daniz Selman tweet. Yeah, the Eagles' 2025 opponents voted 13-1 to ban the push. The other 17 teams voted 9-8. Right,
Yeah.
so like the Eagles don't really play a lot of the teams on that list that voted against it. Most of the teams that voted for banning the tush push, they play.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it's just like,
Who also
you
used
lame,
it, though.
corny team.
2 of those teams that are on that list that were voted for the ban uses it the most times in Buffalo
Packers
and
and
Green
the Bills,
Bay.
yeah.
And Green Bay had that 8-yard tush push in the playoff game.
Yeah,
I'm surprised, though, with the Texans, I will say, because D'Amico Ryans was an advocate for the tush push. Because he was like, as a defensive coach, he's like, yeah, I mean, like, they have a great play. If you can defend it, great. If not, then we had to figure out how to block that. But that's ownership.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's the owners who get to decide. But
yeah, I was going to say, someone probably lobbied for the owners.
Definitely.
someone got in their ear.
Yeah, I think that's just cowardly, though. Like, most of the teams that play the Eagles next year are like, yeah, we're going to do everything we can to make sure this doesn't happen. And they voted to ban it. They still lost.
Also, I feel like that's a classic Buffalo Bills bitch-ass move, too, because how many years can we see in a row where loser-ass teams have a, pass interference call that next season, then they make a rule to, stop whatever kind of pass interference
the
shit.
Saints that one year.
Now it's
Yeah.
now it's not the on the ball flag. It's going to be, that N15 or whatever it may be. The overtime rule because Buffalo got fucked or whoever it was got burnt. Change the overtime rules for playoffs and all that shit. Tush push rule. It's just, when does it stop? When does it end? Let them play games. This isn't a rugby move. All these sorry-ass fucking teams that keep losing big games.
Dude, that's the one thing that drives me crazy. Not that I know really much of anything about rugby, but whenever someone's like, it's not a football play, it's a rugby play. I like how anytime someone says that on social media, there's always someone that replies that's like, I play rugby, that is not done in rugby.
Dude,
like
even Jordan Mailata
It's
says
not a
that.
rugby play at all.
Like, yo,
that's not what we do.
No.
The Eagles literally have a former Australian rugby
I know,
player on their
right?
team
They would know.
who will tell you that is not a rugby play. Like, miss me with that. It's just, I did like what A.J. Brown said when they interviewed him. He's like, it's just a yard.
Right.
I mean, everyone's making such a big fuss. Like, this 1 yard play that is super successful.
Yeah, don't let them get the
dominated
fucking 4th and 1.
It just has dominated topics of conversation throughout the NFL over a damn yard.
I mean, you got
We're
guys.
not even talking like a first down. We're talking a damn yard. It gets you a first down, but it's not 10 yards.
You got
Like,
guys
get a
out
grip.
here laying down sideways in the Super Bowl to try to block this shit. You got guys jumping over the line of scrimmage for this stuff. It's just, it's comical to see what people will do. But no one talks about Brady's efficiency as a QB sneaker. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was the other thing too. It's like even if they had banned like the pushing element of it, it's like half the time it's all you need is the line and the quarterback.
Right.
Like the like whoever, it's usually like what, like the running back who's like behind there, like actually like pushing,
And
and
a
it's
tight
like
end,
that's
yeah.
usually like not really what's making the difference. So it was like even if they did ban that element of it, I was still pretty confident that we'd be able to run a very effective QB sneak anyway.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
yeah, but yeah, it's just,
I mean, I've always been
just
waiting
silly.
for the day where, let's say they do ban the tush push, even before we even had the tush push as a play. When we drafted Malata, I'm like, damn, on the goal line, if you put him back there as a direct snap, you got him barreling down for 2 yards to get to the goal line, he's going to get in there. 1 yard. He will get in there.
Yeah, we should just run a touch push with Jordan Mailata
And that's-
pushing
but I feel
Jordan
like-
Davis.
I feel like that was Kyle Brandt had a good rant on that, where it's like, okay, so you kill the tush push, you're gonna piss off the birds because they will now be invigorated to like prove to the NFL that we could still get a yard on you out on 4th and 1, on 3rd and 1, on 1st and goal, whatever it could be, just to prove you wrong. And like we have the manpower to do that shit. So whatever you want to do, that's fine. But like, yeah, you want to take away Hurts and get his tush push, whatever. Give that ball to Malata.
Yeah.
Or Saquon or whoever else back there, you're good to go.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell's the difference?
Yeah, and I mean, it's just annoying because I feel like all these people that are against it are kind of like look at it as if it's just this like automatic first down, when as Nick Sirianni put it, like if everyone could do it, everyone would do it. And the fact is that they do work on that play a lot and have put a lot of work into perfecting it, and it's not as simple as it looks. There's a lot of practice that goes into it, and the fact that I feel like a lot of this is just attributed to how well Stoutland is at molding guys into effective linemen who just have these like really plus physical attributes. Like not every team would have been able to turn Jordan Mailata into like a Pro Bowl caliber tackle.
Right.
But we can, and because of that, like we're able to run this play. So it's just like, yeah, it's like it's not like the play itself is like giving us like this unfair competitive advantage. The competitive advantage is that we have a really good coaching staff that are really good at coaching up offensive linemen.
And we're bigger. I mean, year over year, the Eagles' offensive line in the last 3 or 4 years has been the number 1 or number 2 just biggest offensive line in the NFL, in the history of the NFL. They're just larger than your other guys can even be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter what you do, and it's just funny. It's just comical that people just hate us because they hate us, and it is what it is. And people try too. I mean, half the teams that voted against it were doing the same play and failed at it.
Yeah, they've tried some version of it. I think the other thing too is, I mean, a lot of times when we run that play, before Hurts is even being shoved, he's already past the line to gain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just, most teams don't have a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds in addition to having our offensive line. So, I mean, if they were to ban it, let's say this comes to a vote next year at the owners' meetings, it's inevitable that it does. It's going to keep coming up until a ban passes. If and when the ban does pass, I mean, the Eagles ran QB sneaks with Hurts before the tush push, and their success rate wasn't as high as it is, but it was still pretty goddamn high. So if they do ban it, when they do ban it, I'm still confident the Eagles will be very good at the regular old QB sneak. And I mean, that's been working since quote unquote Bart Starr ran it back in the 60s.
Right.
Matt Murphy or Mike Murphy or whatever the hell the Packers owner name is. I don't even care what his name is. But yeah, I mean, what are you going to do next once we start being really effective at the regular QB sneak? Ban that too? Like, get a grip.
I also feel like, at the last thing I'll say about this too is that at the onset of this whole big voting thing about this, after Green Bay got all butthurt that we beat their ass twice in the same year, is that it was all about player safety at first. You spent all this time trying to ban one stupid little play that the head of the NFL health commissioner was like, you know what? There's no injuries have ever been caused by this play in the NFL, run by any team, right? But you're spending all this time focusing on player safety when you could be making a rule that would actually benefit player safety.
Exactly.
That could be, a better whether it's horse tackle. I mean, they have that in there, or the the fucking dead weight, what is it, that knee drop one, whatever they do right now where AJ Brown
the
was
hip drop?
Yeah, the hip drop. They don't enforce that at all. Make that more of a bigger penalty. But you have all these other things out there in plays that actually impact player safety that they didn't address at all. No one gives a shit about the kickoff rules or anything overtime rules. Honestly, I think that's all kind of weak sauce, to be honest with you. But you're spending so much time focusing on a bullshit play that you can't defend and you're sorry about it, that it's just making the rest of the player safety not safe.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to build it on, spend your time on that.
Yeah, I mean, they hide behind the guys that they actually care about player safety as a means of trying to get rid of the play.
That's all I'm saying.
And quite frankly, I feel like more quarterbacks have gotten injured on the traditional QB sneak than they have the tush push that we run.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there, I guess this was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, Mahomes dislocated his knee or something running a regular QB sneak. No one was saying anything about that, but whatever, go on. We won. Y'all lost. How about Jeffrey Lurie calling it? One of y'all say the quote.
He said, you know what? I will say, having a play that the rest of the NFL, it's so dominant that the rest of the NFL had to make a rule to try to ban it. It feels like a teenage boy having a wet dream.
That was too funny, man.
And if we lose the vote, we still walk out and get our rings and we're still the champs of the NFL. That is the biggest mic drop.
Yeah, that's tough.
Big dick in the NFL move.
Yeah.
Crazy. An owner died after he said that shit.
Yeah, he literally killed an owner.
He probably had one more wet dream and then
His head
died.
just exploded after he said that.
Nuts. So, I mean, he kind of said it best.
Nuts, no pun intended.
Damn.
But nah, man. How about Kelsey? Kelsey being there?
Oh, yeah, the ambassador.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I've said this before. This might be a little bit of a hot take, but I'm kind of over Kelsey being in the media everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
So like,
I think we're all just tired of it. Like, I'm cool with him doing his thing, but it's just an oversaturation of
it's too
him
much.
being everywhere.
Yeah, it's
right?
too much. That's got to be too much for him, for his family, for his kids, his wife.
Like,
you know
that would have been more funny if he was kind of quiet after he won and, like, retired to, like, be a liaison or, like, a, what's it called when you go to, like, try to get some votes and all that shit in D.C. and whatnot. But I think that...
A lobbyist?
Yeah, like, it'd have been funnier if he, like, just got pulled out of retirement to be a lobbyist for us on the ownership vote on the private jet that Lori went with, probably Big Dom, too, and, like, did that randomly. But... I'm fine with it.
No, I'm cool with it. I support that. I would rather see more of that and less of him just being on all these commercials, like making podcasts appearing. I don't know. Again, a hot take coming from a Philadelphian who loved a Super Bowl speech, but there's just been too much Jason Kelsey. Aside from this, I'm happy that he did this for whatever it helped turn the scales in our favor. Like, go on then, Jason Kelsey, do your thing. But, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall just to see, like, the owners meeting, like, the room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when Kelsey's speaking, people are probably getting mad, like, who is this? Why is he up there? He doesn't even play for the team anymore.
They were back-to-back, too. It was Lori, it was Kelsey, Lori, whatever
spoke
it was.
for, like, an hour.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Just about this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to get a video of that.
Right? Some NFL like higher up was in the room, said something to the effect of he was passionate as if he was like a jaded teenager trying to keep his girlfriend from breaking up with him. Like, he was that emotional and that just charged and fired up.
So what he did was, if you guys ban this, I'm going to kill myself.
Hey.
They said it was...
Don't make me do it.
They said it was passionate, emotional, and ended with a little bit of crudeness.
Yeah,
and the crudeness was
that line. Yeah,
it was the last line.
Oh, man.
No, shout out to him. We've said this before. I would generally have zero respect for billionaires. He's all right in my book.
I mean, he's got us 2 rings.
He's ours.
He's done pretty well.
He's our evil billionaire.
Yeah. It's like, he ain't evil.
Well, he's not evil, but...
No. I don't think... I mean, nothing's come out yet. Right now,
he could be.
Things are looking up for him in terms of billionaire status and people liking him, but...
Yeah, it's pretty easy to be one of the good ones. You just have to not be, like, super evil.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, not be Josh Harris or...
Jeffrey Robert
Josh Harris. Shout out to Josh Harris for winning the FA Cup, by the way. Did you guys see that?
Oh, I did see that.
Crystal Palace won the FA Cup.
So now he'll care even less about the Sixers.
Yeah, he's got another trophy in the cabinet or whatever.
Yeah, he can suck my left nut on Broad Street. But anyway, what other? Oh, we got other Eagles news.
Nick Sirianni.
Yeah. Big Dick Nick.
I don't think they didn't.
They've been very hushed on the terms.
Nah, no one knows.
My gut.
It's kind of weird, but it's a lifetime contract.
I think typically they have historically in the NFL kept like coach deals under the hood, so to speak. However, I do think that it's probably going to be the same length of like the Hurts, AJ Brown, Devon. Like I think it's probably the same length as the nucleus of that offense. I don't see it. I don't see it
beyond that. I feel like it's probably like 5 years.
Yeah, I think it's like.
Do we know when his original deal was set to expire?
After this season, after this coming season.
Okay, so
they didn't want him to go being a lame duck coach after winning a Super Bowl.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to see maybe 3 then.
Yeah, I think it's probably a 4-year deal added on to the next season. So it's a 5-year deal essentially.
Total, yeah.
Which makes sense to me because then you got 5 more years of Hurts with AJ Brown, Devontae. I mean, they're all locked up till 2027, 2028.
I think one of them comes off in 28.
They'll be on contract years as well. I mean, you'll want some continuity there if you're going to try to either move that or get some new guys in. I don't see them. It's not like a 10-year. People, I don't know. I feel like the way people reacted sometimes were like, oh my God, he's here forever. I think it's
you will never see that.
I think it's a big enough deal. Well, the last time you saw it, he got fired for being a racist. That was Gruden. 10-year deal, $100 million, Yeah. So they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, the NFL stands for not for long. I've been hearing that for years. And you won't even see that in other sports either. You won't see coaches sign 10-year deals. I mean,
it doesn't happen.
The average tenure for a coach in most leagues is, I guess, other than baseball. Baseball managers have a little more longevity. But for any other sport, it's like 3 seasons, 4 seasons. Yeah. You'll never see a coach get signed.
Unless you're great, you can't guarantee that you can coach the same system with different players coming in all the time.
Exactly.
Injuries playing that.
Yeah, you have to adapt.
Like the style of the game, the pace of play, all of those things can change. Personality of the players that are coming in is, we start getting Gen Zers in here.
The guy can only shave his head so many times to make it work. So it's like, how many bits can that be?
But yeah, I think it's probably 4 years on to the top
have to shave his
top off in the next season.
Shaving his pubes.
Yeah, he might already do
like a fucking little mole rat.
Like a little cannoli.
Yeah.
But man, it was
2030.
That contract extension's well deserved, though, right?
I mean, who can argue at this point? I've said it many times. I'll cop to it. I was a hater, for sure, but never been happy to be proven wrong. Clearly knows what he's doing, deserves to be here. Glad he'll be around for a while.
Yeah,
and he totally fits the vibe of the team and the city. Like he's obnoxious and annoying, and like it's a perfect fit in that way.
Yeah, here's the deal with Nick Sirianni, man. He's good for a quote, the whole flower, the flower metaphor. Mm-hmm. It just, at the time, you were like, this is fucking ridiculous. This guy sitting here talking about gardening and likening it to a football team. Who is this hippie dude coaching this team? But I mean, ever since then, he's kind of turned it around. He's come up with these other quotes. My favorite, you can't be great without the greatness of others. I mean, that was the mantra for the team this year, and it led them to the Super Bowl, helped them win the Super Bowl. And it's his core values. As stupid as a lot of those are, the players buy into connect, compete, football intelligence, like what I don't remember what all of them are. Mm-hmm. But he's been really effective. I've said this before after we won the Super Bowl. He's been really effective at sort of setting a culture, defining the play personality of the team, defining leaders on the team, really just sort of establishing an identity. I mean, does he call plays? No, not really. When he does call plays, sometimes it works. Like the Super Bowl when he says go for the dagger. Other times it's probably not so great. Probably plenty of times during the collapse of 2023. But yeah, for the most part, he stays out of that. doesn't really draw up plays. He kind of just does his thing, walks around, vibes, and the players really love him. Apparently, when A.J. Brown was speaking yesterday, he straight up asked the media, y'all know how long he's here for? Because he's curious. He's like, I want to make sure. He's like, if I'm here, if he's here.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I don't want to go I don't want to be. He didn't say this, but it's kind of implied that he loves playing for Sirianni so much that if Sirianni were to be gone, he's like, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, clearly he's a player's coach, fits the identity of the city. He's loud, obnoxious, kind of dopey, but also passionate, emotional, and there is a strong sense of emotional intelligence within that man that I think everyone, us included, has responded to.
Yeah, I mean, I think we almost felt this same feeling about Dougie P after we won the Super Bowl the first time, right? Where like the locker room vibed and everybody got in there, right? But it was a lot older of a team, right? You had all these other guys coming in, all these other veterans playing on the team and all this stuff that were kind of at the end of their career. We never really got that same MO afterwards. I think that Sirianni mixed with the oddly youthful wisdom of Hurts as well. Like, I think they have a really good connection together. I think that really helps the whole offense. Sirianni's an offensive head coach, just like Andy Reid is, right? And all that stuff. I think that it bodes well together with the team where Hurts can keep the other guys that are playing on a same mental level playing field. And Sirianni doesn't have to be the guy that, is bringing in. You look at Hurts, they keep talking about Hurts having all these other different OCs his whole career, from high school to the NFL, right? I mentioned this before where I'm kind of over that whole stigma. At the same time, though, Sirianni has also had a different OC every year as well, which could or could not be, whatever. Like, he's not running all the plays or calling plays here and there, but I think throughout his tenure, he's learned when to kind of pull the trigger. No, we're going to go for this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're not going to do this. But he knows when to let the play develop, let the team do their thing, let Hurts manage his offense with the offensive coordinator, no big deal. But that shows a sign of growth as well for him. He's his own flowers growing as we look, which is good. So He earned himself whatever he told Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman last year when they were ready to can his ass. And he brought in Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio or whoever brought them in, whatever. But I think he's more of a, not necessarily a total vibes guy, but he also manages the game, just like Hurts does. He doesn't have to be MVP every year, doesn't have to be coach of the year every year, but he does enough to keep the team together, playing at a high level, and get him on the same page. And that's all you can ask for as a head coach.
Yeah, I think something you said at the beginning of that was how it's different from Dougie P. I think one of the biggest ways it's different from Dougie P is there's more of a sense of humility with Sirianni. Like, you remember Dougie P the year he got fired. He was saying he was going to bring back the same meeting that Jeffrey Lurie and Howie had with Nick, they had with Dougie P. And they were asking him how he was going to fix the team after that whole Wentz season 2020 where Wentz was ass and the offense sucked and everyone got hurt. And he was like, yeah, I'm running it back with my guys. And then after that, they fired him. Mm-hmm. The difference with Sirianni is Sirianni checked his ego, had the humility in the sense to say, yeah, maybe I'm not the best at this. Maybe I do need a little help. So, yeah, I'm not going to roll with my guys. I think we should bring in guys that can call plays, and I'll just do my thing, whatever that might be. I don't think he really knew what it was at the time. It might have been shaving his head and screaming at the fans on the sidelines, but I mean, at the end of the day, him having a sense of knowing himself and the self-awareness to know, yeah, I can't do this alone. There's a reason why he's still here. And quite frankly, it's the reason why he brought in Vic Fangio, who's a lot of the reason why we won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, shout out to Nick Sirianni.
That's that receiver dog in him right there.
Yeah, he's got... yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that is true.
He's got more humility than a quarterback does.
Yeah, that's a good point because Dougie P would have said was like, hell no.
His sort of out there stuff is very like wide receiver coded.
Yeah, yeah, being loud and dramatic. Yeah, that's very wide receiver.
That's all I'm saying. He's got a little hot head. When it works, it works. When it doesn't, he's like, yeah, fuck it. I didn't catch all the balls. I fucked up today.
Yeah, much respect to him. Oh, this is wild too, yo. This was crazy. So this is a tweet from Brandon Lee Gouton. NFL head coaches ranked by all-time winning percentage. Excuse me. Have y'all seen this tweet yet? That was a mean burp.
I felt that. No.
Y'all haven't seen this tweet? Guess where Sirianni ranks?
Wait, on what is this again?
Head coaches ranked by all-time winning percentage.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
mean,
he's got to be up there.
He's got to statistically be probably top 5.
He's top 5
because he's only been coaching for.
It's not in total number of games, just winning percentage. There isn't a minimum number of games coached, but I mean, we know how
That's
long
what I'm saying, though. He's only been in the league for 3 or 4 years as a head coach. Been in 2 Super Bowls, had almost, every season. Started 10-0 half the year, so like half the season.
Yeah, every season we start the season at least 10-1. Or something like that.
I would say 4.
Trevor, what you got?
Let's go 3, honestly.
He's 5th.
5th, okay.
So, but, I mean, some of the names on this list, number 1, Guy Chamberlain. I don't really know who that is. Number 2, John Madden. There's a video game franchise named after him. Considered the greatest coach ever.
Yeah, great Broncos coach.
Number 3, Vince Lombardi.
Makes sense.
There's a trophy named after him. Number 4, George Allen. I don't think I know who that is. Number 5, Nick Sirianni. So yeah, Chamberlain's 784 winning percentage. Madden's 759. Lombardi 738. Allen 712. Sirianni 706.
This including playoffs or just regular or all time?
Regular season. This is regular season. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to be a young head coach and already be in a list with those names. I mean, hey, the sky's the limit
something
for him,
right.
dude.
He's doing something right. You can't quite put it into words and put it on paper, but he gets guys to play well. Yeah, like it is what it is.
So like the narrative around him's not too different from the narrative around Hurts, right? Like a lot of what Hurts does isn't the flashiest. He drives us crazy sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
But at the end of the day, he knows how to win.
Right.
They both know how to win. It's I don't know. It's not Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying, where Michael Jordan's putting
not
up
yet, but we're 40, on the precipice of
40,
this.
50-point games, and they're winning 6 championships. It's not that. It's not Brady and Belichick. I would hope Sirianni isn't dating a 20-year-old when he's like 80 or whatever, like Belichick. That's a different story for a different day. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's effective. They know how to win games. They may bicker and beef with each other about each other to the media. But whatever it is, they set their egos aside, put their heads down, and win football games. That's what it's all about, baby.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
So how do we want to do this? Here's what I propose. We hit the Phillies real quick, then come back and do the schedule. Yeah. Because that's going to take the longest time.
That's true, yeah.
That makes sense.
Do a little Phils.
They're winning 6-2, by the way.
God damn.
Yeah,
prime time tie, baby.
Nice. Yeah. Against the shit-ass Rockies.
Yeah,
I was losing that first game of the series where it looked like they were about to lose. I was like, are we really going to fucking lose a game?
Yeah, same.
But came alive in the 8th and 9th. But, I mean, like, it's kind of wild. I mean, we were sitting
This is the story of Hansel and Gretel, who were gathering firewood in the enchanted forest one day, when they came upon a gingerbread house. It had chocolate bars for roof tiles, and the trim was made out of that rubbery sugar stuff on wedding cakes that nobody seems to like.
What did you say?
Suddenly an old lady burst from the door. "Oh no, it's a wicked witch." Hansel cried out. "She's going to eat us."
For a little bit. Oh, it was getting good. She's going to eat us. It was just getting good, dude.
What did I say?
I thought they said she was going to eat her ass.
That's no Hansel and Gretel fairy tale I ever heard.
I won't respond to that.
Thank you. That's some Hansel and...
Han Solo?
Go away. I want to make this go.
Okay.
What? Go away.
I was like...
Damn, that's it.
Yo, why does that keep happening? That's like the second time in 3 weeks.
I must have said, I don't know. I never used that shit. I never used Siri or Alexa or any of that. I guess that's Siri.
We spent that whole time on Sirianni, never said a whole thing. And
I know, right? You would think it'd be going off like crazy.
All right, but Phillies, though.
What the fuck were we just, what was I talking about?
We're talking about the game against the Rockies.
The bum-ass Rockies, yeah.
Yeah, but
then they exploded for like 9 runs.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you got Walker right now. They're up 6-2. But, I think
Prime
the Phillies...
time tie, baby.
I will say, I mean, I'm looking at the reels of the last week when we were on here talking about Bryce Harper shaving his head, and I'm not gonna lie, he's been doing pretty good since that.
He had a dinger tonight.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, him and Trey Turner went back to back.
Home run?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, for as much as we were here, for the first, few weeks of the season or whatever, it was like, we were kind of talking about, is this, did we maybe overrate this team? Are they not that good? Blah, blah, blah. And here they are with the best record in the NL somehow. So, yeah, I mean, they're getting it done. The bats are kind of coming around. Schwarber continues to be ridiculous.
Dude, this
just keeps hitting dingers.
Schwarber against left-handers, man, he's like Barry Bonds.
Literally, I saw that he's
this
like
tweet.
Yeah,
this from Matt Gelb. You seen this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was listening to their Yeah,
this is wild, dude. This was prior to last night's game when he hit another dinger.
Yeah, so he's probably even better now.
Dude, left-handed batters versus left-handed pitchers, minimum 70 plate appearance, OPS since 1961. It's Barry Bonds 3 times. A 1532, a 1300, and 1239. Larry Walker in 2001, who was prolific. Then Schwarber with an 1191 OPS against lefties.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy, dude.
He's a machine.
His first season when he hit below 200, when his first season with us, now it's like he's just raking against lefties. He's hitting well over 300 against them.
It is he looks unfazed at the plate. I mean, Schwarber has been, like I said, the shining light on this team, and he's just continuing to do what he does. It's nuts.
Yeah, I think
when I did a triple deck on the Rockies last night.
I was cackling when he hit that ball.
Or 2 nights ago, whatever it was.
I just started cracking.
466.
Yeah. I started dying. I was like, damn, when's that ball going to land? They showed something on the broadcast last night. At its apex, it was 104 feet in the air.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, at Coors, you could get those fucking moon shots, but... Yeah.
Most people still aren't hitting them that far.
Oh, no.
That's absurd.
Yeah, that was wild.
But now, my favorite thing about Schwarber is I know this a few weeks ago. His understanding of the strike zone is immaculate, man. It's better than the umpires. There are times where the umpire will call a strike on Schwarber. You can tell he disagrees with it. And there are other times that they'll call a ball where Schwarber's you can tell he's like, oh, that probably should have been a strike.
Right.
And just... the way that he's able to work an at-bat into his favor and then get a hittable pitch, it's just unreal.
And it's not just hittable, it's crushable.
Yeah, it's not something
he
where
works it where he's going to fucking hammer the fuck out of this ball. And it's insane to see.
Yeah, it's not somewhere he's poking a single left. Although he's gotten good at that too, just getting a bat on the ball.
Well, he's not no spring chicken either. Every time he's in the home run lead, especially this year, it's either him or Shohei or Judge. He's not like a young buck right now. He's still... killing it and going toe-to-toe with what people perceive to be the next coming of Babe Ruth, and then Schwarber, which is just so funny. I love that about this guy.
Yeah. No, Schwarber's the man.
But it's all coming together. I think, we talked a lot of stuff at the beginning of the season and even the last couple of weeks about consistency. Can this team keep it up? I mean, to be honest, they should be doing what they're doing now, coming off of the Pirates and now the Rockies and then the A's. You should be, taking these fucking sweeps or winning these series here and there and dominating these teams, which they've been doing, and it's great.
Yeah, they're beating up on the teams they should be beating up on.
This is the time of year to rack the wins up, get a little lead, and call it a day. At the same time, though, you look at the Dodgers lost to the Los Angeles, the Angels. Not necessarily a prolific team.
So the A's are bad, yeah.
That's pretty good that way.
The Mets are struggling.
The Mets lost to Boston. They're a decent team, so I'll take that. But we're not only beating the teams that we should be beating, but the other premier teams in the NL are losing to guys that are either subpar or just playing par right now. So it's a good benefit. We're all playing middle of the road or bad teams at this point, and it's a good to see that that we're just crushing it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take care of business, right? How many times have we sat here and lamented the Phillies losing 2 out of 3 to the Marlins?
Even the Pirates a couple years ago.
That's another one. Or the A's last year when they took 2 out of 3 against us. So you got to take care of your business. I mean, you should be well above 500 against these teams, and if you can hang a few games above 500 against the good competition, which I think the Phillies are 2 games above 500 against teams with a winning record, then that's really all that you need. I mean, it's been kind of fun to watch the Mets kind of collapse a little bit.
I don't think Soto melds well with that team
so
at all.
Funny,
it's very
dude.
odd.
Yo, it's been so funny. Like, one of these games recently, he just straight up, like, he struck. It was one of those plays where you strike out.
Yep.
And it's a wild pitch, and, you should run down to first. He barely ran.
There was one off the Green Monster. He thought it was a home run. You could clearly tell after halfway, you're like, nah, it's going to hit the wall. And he got a single out of that.
Yeah.
It's like you could have just ran it out. He off the wall. It's not an out. Like, you're good to go. What are you doing over here?
If I can find this quote real quick, because the New York media had asked him about that after the fact, about his not running balls out.
First, they asked the coach. They asked the head coach.
I'm going to find it in
They
time.
asked the head coach. They were like, "How do you feel about Juan Soto's hustle right now?" He's like, "He could be hustling a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie, down the line." And then they asked Soto literally 2 minutes later in his presser, and he's like, "I'm hustling pretty good right now."
Yeah, I think
there's clearly a little bit of they're not gelling like that. No one ever asked Soto that when he played for the Yankees if he's hustling or not. He was crushing it and raking it all year. So it is a little bit of a weird dynamic to see how the Mets are shaking out, but the Mets do this every year. They either start off hot, they start off bad, they get pretty hot, they gel a little bit, they need a little adversity to get them shaken up a little bit, but, I think it's a good position for the Phillies to be in, to be beating all these bad teams.
Yeah, this was funny. This isn't the Juan Soto quote I was looking for, but this is a tweet from Jeff Passan, who's basically the Woj of baseball. He, knows everything about what every team's up to. So apparently, there was some rumor that Soto was taking private jets, not with the Mets. So,
oh my God.
I mean, Passan had to tweet this. He had to say, to clear up what others have asserted, Juan Soto does not fly separately from his New York Mets teammates on a private jet. He flies on the team plane. There's no private jet provision in his contract for him or his family, which is fine. I understand that that's the case. The fact that even needs to be stated is concerning for the vibes in that locker room and just that media market right now. And obviously, New York media, they're just as hard hitting and aggressive as Philadelphia media is. And I don't think Soto was really, even though he kind of got a taste of this last year with the Yankees, I don't think he understands just how bad it's going to be when you sign a $765 million contract. People are going to be on you like white on rice, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about the Mets too much, except it is fun to poke fun at them.
Yeah. But the pivot to I think, honestly, a good pivot to the Alvarado thing during this Phillies weird little hot streak against the bad teams is that I think that this all kind of happened at the same time that Alvarado got hit with that devastating news that he's out for pretty much the rest of the season. The team's looking like they woke up like, oh shit, we need to win every game that we should be winning against shitty teams, middle of the road teams. Our pitching was kind of their most volatile spot here and there, I would say.
The bullpen, you mean?
Yeah, the bullpen. Yeah. So and a lot of those games that it came down to the bullpen, it was a 2-run game, we're up ahead, and then we lose a game by 8 because fucking Romano can't do shit or whoever can't do anything like that. And they've kicked it into gear. The bats are awake against bad teams. That hopefully mends well into a better series. But the Alvarado loss is going to be a big hit for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be very challenging in the short term. I mean, I think that they were. I mean, it sucks because even before that, it was assumed that they were going to be looking for a bullpen arm at the trade deadline. Now they absolutely need to get one at the trade deadline. But I don't think they're going to try to do a move now because it's you're going to be paying way too much.
Well, teams know now they're going to fuck you up.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be paying a premium. So I feel like they're still just going to have to just hold out until closer to the deadline and just try to make it work with what they have and patch something together. Hope the bats come around. I mean, thankfully we haven't the past few games we haven't really needed to to rely on any high leverage bullpen innings. But that's obviously not going to last. You're going to need that from somebody. But, yeah, I mean, it sucks, too, that he's not even going to be eligible for the postseason.
That's the worst part.
That's the worst part.
That's the biggest kicker right there.
Yeah. And, at least in the postseason, you can kind of, patch together. You're going to have starters coming into the bullpen where you normally wouldn't, and you can kind of patch things together. But, definitely puts him in a tough spot. You're gonna have to trade for somebody, and like, they may put themselves in a position where they're gonna have to give up more than they would have liked to otherwise.
So here's what I'm gonna say to that. First of all, shout out to Mick Abel.
Yeah,
Pitched his ass off.
Great start.
Yeah.
Holy shit! 9 strikeouts he had.
Especially knowing how bad he was in AAA last year, I wasn't expecting that.
Hell of a game, to be honest, as well, with Paul Skeens up there, too.
Yeah, shout out to him, dude. He pitched a complete game and took an L.
Yeah.
You never see dudes pitch a complete game, period, anymore. Not only did he pitch a complete game, he only gave up 1 run and he lost.
Yeah.
That was the Philly stat line right there.
Dude, he was sick. Like, I'm definitely not here to talk about the Pirates, even though Pittsburgh's a decent city. It's no Cleveland, though. But anyway... I'm not here to blow smoke up the Pirates' ass, but Paul Skeens was nasty, man. He pitched a hell of a game. Mick Abel just did him a little better, but I think Mick Abel might be showcasing himself for other teams. I think it sucks to say that after he pitches such a great game, but I think that's the trade chip that you're looking at sending out for a bullpen arm. Just to think about it, the Phillies' rotation is already set, right? You have Wheeler, Sanchez, Luzardo, who's been killing it, Suarez, some combination of Nola and Walker whenever Nola comes back. Primetime Ties doing good again today. And then you have Andrew Painter waiting in the wings, who's also going to be in there. So you already have 7 arms capable of starting. I don't think it's likely you move Abel to the pen. I just don't really see it.
Yeah.
So I think he's a trade chip.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the, like, it's interesting because there's like a few different things they could try to do with him. It's just like, do you try to build up his value for a trade? Do you try to move him to the bullpen? Do you try to maybe insert him into the big league lineup?
I think he's most valuable right now as a trade piece.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, he's useful on the team, but after a start like that, his trade value is going to go any higher than what it is right now. I mean, that was just remarkable to see. And the way Andrew Painter's been pitching in the other league, I mean, today I think he went 4, maybe 5 innings, 1 earned run, 7 Ks.
Yeah, he's killing it.
I mean, he's been, and that's your guy right there.
Yeah, he's untouchable.
So,
he's not going out in any trades.
It'd be great to keep them both. That'd be remarkable to be able to keep both of them on the team, but
I just don't.
I mean, it just seems like of all like the if you look at the prospects they have, it seems like a guy who's like projected to be a starting pitcher is probably your most expendable area. Like you're not going to get rid of what's his name,
Aidan Miller, or Crawford,
yeah. Like those are guys that you're going to be relying on. Hopefully like next year or whatever.
Raking it, yeah.
So like, if there's one position you can kind of afford to give something away, it probably is a prospective starting pitcher.
Yeah, which sucks, but I mean that's
cost of doing business. When you're a contender, that's what you got to do. Yes. Is what it is.
So yeah, I think that's kind of what we're looking at. But yeah, Trevor, you're right. In the short term, it's too early to make moves. A lot of teams are still contending. You need to wait for teams to fall out where they'll sell. And then maybe you can recoup some value. But right now, teams know that you're kind of in a pickle. They're still kind of contending. They're going to drive that asking price pretty high. And Phillies don't... I wouldn't be buying.
Yeah, not yet.
Plus, man, I guess it's easy to say right now when we're playing the Rockies and then we play the A's. But it feels like the Phillies are kind of in a soft part of the schedule. Just ride it out with what you got. The bats are starting to wake up. Let the offense get rolling.
There's no need to make a jump right now when people know that you're desperate. If we're playing well, the scores have been pretty separate too. It's not like we're playing close games right now. We're beating the shit out of bad teams. So there's no need to make a big move. You get the Braves after you play the A's.
Which they still haven't really gotten right.
And there's like the Cubs mixed in there and all that shit. But honestly, it's a pretty... June is Schwarber's big month. So if he's already got 15, 16 home runs right now,
that's a good point.
He could even double that shit by the time we're done June. So I'm not really...
That's funny. I didn't consider that.
Hoagie Fest comes around and Schwarber might be popping off. So talking about a teenage boy with a wet dream. But I think that you don't want to be what? What? I didn't say anything.
How did you go from shawarma and hoagie fest to a teenage boy with a wet dream?
You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, all I'm saying is that you don't want to act desperate. People know that you're desperate. Is all I'm saying. So ride it out, weather the storm, and shit'll fall in your head.
And also, like, who knows? I mean, maybe one of these arms you have could actually step up and prove themselves. I mean, maybe fucking Taijuan Walker proves to be like a good, like, high leverage arm for like an inning.
Yeah.
Dude,
he's kind of been, I mean, he's been having to come into the rotation now with this so-called Aaron
hold
injury.
up. Yeah, I called that. I called that last week.
Yeah.
I totally called that.
Yeah.
They were just going to say, yeah, he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Big call.
But anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but it's like, who knows, like, he's
that.
in the rotation now, but, like, who knows, maybe he turns into a guy that you can really rely on for an inning in a high leverage situation to come in. Or one of these other guys. I don't know. It's just like, they're going to have to, like, throw some darts and see if anything sticks and just kind of, play it by ear until it gets closer to the deadline.
Yeah, I think right now the best thing they can do is build a cushion, beat up on these sorry teams, so that way, if someone does falter, you have a little leeway to play with to try to figure out the right combination of pieces until the deadline, and then Alvarado comes back. And then once you pick someone up in the deadline, that's your high leverage lefty bullpen arm. That and whoever he is in Strom, that kind of takes the place of Alvarado. In the postseason, I mean.
Yeah.
Like once you get to the playoffs. Because that's the problem, man. It's like regular season, it's the regular season. That's important. 80 games is half the season. That's a long goddamn time. But the playoffs, like, you need your best arms.
Yeah,
you need your high leverage guys, your guys that have been there before, and to lose that is not ideal. But we'll worry about that when we get there. We got to get there.
Yeah,
we probably will, but
let's get through the summer first.
Yeah. Yeah. So Phillies right now, what's the score? Oh, I closed the MLB app. I think it's 6-2. No, that's the NBA app.
6-2. That's a terrible score.
Yeah, what a boring NBA game.
We're in like the third quarter now.
Phillies, 7-3. Okay, 7-3. Top of the fifth.
Okay.
Beautiful. Love to see it.
Yeah, the Rockies are so goddamn sorry, dude. All those starters' ERAs are so garbage.
I think the guy who was starting tonight had his ERA was like 11.
He's
or something.
He's still in the game.
I think their starters only have a combined like 4 actual wins this season.
Yeah, they're 8-40.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Bad, real bad.
My man Palmquist is still in the game.
Palmquist.
He's given up 10 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 dingers. His ERA is approaching 12. That's bad, sucks, dude. Man.
Damn.
I tell you what, though, Mickey Moniak, he's been okay in these couple of games.
He was good when we played him in Philly too.
Yeah, he just summed up. I guess he probably gets pissed when he plays us.
I'm sure. Whatever he's playing for.
Ain't no one scared of him.
Settle down there, Mighty Mouse. Yeah.
Former first overall pick.
Yep. But anyway, primetime tie, 4 innings. 5 hits, 3 earned runs. He doesn't have a strikeout, but hey, he's holding his own. Anyway, all right. I think that's all we got on the Phillies. What's the score of this NBA game? 87-83. Knicks beating the Pacers.
Neck and neck.
2 minutes in the third. Maybe we might can catch the end of this game. Damn, you're going now before we get to the schedule?
That's why I'm going now.
Okay, all right. All right, so yeah, I guess we'll kill a little time while Trevor empties his bladder. So before we get in the schedule, what did you think when the schedule came out? Obviously, you knew, right, that the Eagles were going to have a much tougher schedule being a first-place team.
Definitely.
Super Bowl winner.
Definitely.
It's going to be a tough schedule. But once you saw the layout and you saw the games, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was odd that it looked like a checkerboard. I feel like the last couple of years we had a lot of back-to-back games, whether that was 2 games at home, 2 games away, 2 games at home, 3 games at home. We at one point, I felt like I was at home for a whole month, which was nice, going to games at the Link. I think it's odd that it's odd in a I guess now good way once I figured out the dates and like the timing of things, right? First thing that jumped out to me was obviously when you get a Super Bowl win, all the primetime slots, right? A lot of Thursday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, whatever it could be. Every other week, every week is going to be home, away, home, away. There's no back-to-back home games at all this season.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to see because we haven't really had that. So that's a thing. And the bye midweek, right? We had the bye, right? We had the bye maybe week 5 last year. I think it was week 5.
Which ended up being a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, which, I mean, yes and no. I felt like we had a pretty early bye the year we went to the Super Bowl the first time with Sirianni.
I don't remember that.
Or maybe, no, we had an early bye the year before we went to the Super Bowl, in between the 2 Super Bowl years. Because we had that gauntlet stretch afterwards. Oh, yeah,
we had the bye before.
Right? Because then we had KC,
the KC
Buffalo,
game
Miami.
was right after the bye.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had KC, Miami, Buffalo, the big gauntlet after the bye. And that kind of crushed us. And then we didn't really get our shit together after that. So I thought the no back-to-back home games was a big spot for me. And all the primetime things was, a B or C move because that's just what you see when you get to that.
Yeah.
And I thought Dallas was actually an interesting move.
Oh, to open the season, I appreciate that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, you don't often see meaningful division games early in the season like that.
What jumped out to you?
I feel like they usually do like the Super Bowl rematch thing as the first game of the season.
Yeah,
so
it's the second, so it's still early.
Yeah, it's still early, yeah.
But Ned, to me, what jumped out, a surprising amount of 1 o'clock games for a Super Bowl champ, which I'm not mad about. In my older age, I don't mind. It's
better than a couple years ago when they had like 3.
Right. That was horrible. So I don't mind that. Here's the biggest thing: is I know if you look at winning percentage at the previous season, and you kind of look at the strength of schedule on paper, it's really hard. I'm not here to dispute that. Yeah, they play a lot of tough teams, but I kind of appreciate the fact that they're a little more spread out. Because that gauntlet, it was like once we started spiraling, you go from playing the Bills to the Niners to, I don't even remember who we played after the Niners, but they kicked our ass. And then it's just, you can't get right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A lot of travel.
Whereas that
short weeks.
Yeah, short weeks. Whereas this schedule, I mean, you play a lot of tough teams in the early part of this schedule is pretty hard. But you got the Giants mixed in there.
Also, the fact that it's broken up, though,
you got the Bears, you got the Raiders. You know what I mean?
Broncos.
What's interesting is, assuming, if we assume that the Commanders are going to be kind of in it in the division again, we don't play them until the
last
third
4
and
weeks.
the last.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a problem too.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It isn't though.
No,
that could be like exciting, but
no. Here's why it's a problem. The schedule makers are on crack, dude. How are you going to have us play the Giants week 6 and week 8, and the Commanders week 16 and week 18? You mean to tell me you couldn't have flip flopped one of those games?
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't. You're going to play the same team twice in 3 weeks, twice in the same schedule,
and it could be 3 times in 4 weeks or 3 times in 5 weeks.
Let's say the Commanders make the playoffs. Well, now you can't have that.
It reminds me of when we used to always play Dallas at the end of the year. I'll get to the Washington one when we get there, but I do appreciate, I'm not going to lie, having for the first time in a while a meaningful Dallas-Eagles matchup. Because honestly, throughout the whole entire career of the Hurts and Prescott matchup, we haven't really had either a healthy game, no one's been healthy, or it hasn't been meaningful. So
exactly. That's true.
Someone's either beating the shit out of somebody and immediately. I mean, I've been to so many games where Dak Prescott came there like week 14 and like we had whoever playing backup quarterback and it was 45-17. It's like, that was fun.
Here we go.
Yeah, but it didn't like they all felt like they won the Super Bowl. And we were all pissed off and hammered and being mad, but it didn't really matter. We were still going to be a shitty team, and they were going to lose in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah.
Where now, week 1, fresh, healthy, Dak is back. It's off. I mean, unveiling that would be. It's going to be crushing. I will say though.
Well, let's just get into it.
We should get into it.
Yeah.
All right. So week 1, we got Dallas Cowboys. At home.
At home. Thursday night.
Unveiling the banner. In front
September
of all the
4th,
Dallas
right
players
after
and
Labor Day.
Jeffrey Lurie.
Jerry Jones.
It's going to be above my right shoulder. That's where all the banners hang. And I'll be right in the tunnel. I might piss in the tunnel this year. I don't know. But I think it's a dub. I think it's going to be a win.
There's no way in hell they lose to the Cowboys on Super Bowl celebration night. Absolutely not. The link is going to be buck. People are going to be getting hammered. Jerry Jones is going to be turtling up in there. He might leave at halftime.
Yeah.
He probably will. The Eagles are going to be up 27-0 at halftime. He's going home. I'm not going to say a final score prediction. I'll save that for August 28th or whatever when we record that pod.
I think that game comes down to a tush push win for the Birds. For some reason,
I
don't know why. I think it's going to be a tush. You got a new OC. I don't know. I'm just saying that Dallas is going to be a little bit more pent up in their anger toward us for winning the Super Bowl. And they have to play him. I get that. But I think it's going to come down to a fourth quarter long drive, almost like how Pittsburgh was, even though we were ahead of that game. I think we have a long drive at the end of that game. Tush push it in for a touchdown, come out with a dub.
All right.
I see that as a tough week one. It's week one. It always gets a little sloppy that week.
All right, Trevor, what you got?
I also got a dub. I just don't think we're losing opening night against the Cowboys at home.
Do I make a piss bet?
I will. I should because I'm the only one that has it. I will drink my piss if the Eagles lose week one.
All right, fair enough. Okay, week 2 at the Chiefs. Sunday, I think it's the 4:25, America's Game of the Week, big old Super Bowl rematch. I have that as a win. I know the Chiefs play really well at home, but I just have a hard time thinking their offensive line got that much better since the Super Bowl. I think Nolan Smith is going to show some marked improvement. I think Jahad Campbell comes up with a play that game. I think the Chiefs defense will perform better than they did in the Super Bowl, but I just think that the offense is too faulty. I think we win in a lower scoring affair.
I think we win as well. I think we win handedly. I think that we won a close game a couple years ago in a rain and shitty weather and all that against KC. But to your point, too, KC hasn't done anything in really recent years to really jump ahead. People thought Xavier Worthy was going to be the new Tyreek Hill, and he hasn't really done shit. I think he's.
I had him in fantasy last year.
I think he's too undersized. I think Mahomes and all of them got a little too fat and happy with being winners. They might be pissed off because they have some sour taste in their mouth for the first time in a couple of years, so that might be a big thing, and that crowd is going to be rocking. But I think it also was a little bit aggressive last time. My cousin Sean was there last time, and he was like their fans are assholes. So
you don't think Patrick's going to be motivated by his wife's fake titties?
Her big old bazookas.
Yeah, they look so fake.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my god.
But she's still a bitch, so it doesn't really change the fact that her mouth still sounds like that.
I mean, she could look like whatever she wants. She's just a repugnant person.
Yeah. So I think
you ever seen her wedding dress?
No.
Look that up on your phone. Brittany Mahomes' wedding dress.
Do I want to see this?
I hope it.
It's just a really ugly dress.
Is it his jersey?
No, that would probably be better, honestly.
But I think that's a dub. Brittany Mahomes' jersey. This is fucking. What am I looking up here? Oh wait, not jersey, wedding gown.
It's so extra.
It's like. So fucking weird.
That's fucking odd.
Yeah.
2 Super Bowls? Is that what that is? 2.
She's.
Anyway.
So
we even more so, that's a dub for us, I think.
Yeah, I think we come away with a win there too.
All right.
Home against the Rams, 1 o'clock.
Despite some shady shit from the refs trying to hand it to them, I think we'll come away with a dub.
Yeah,
I think we're all right.
I ain't scared of them.
Their first couple games for their bye last year, they only won all those games by 1 point against like the Raiders, the Broncos,
they were
the Cardinals.
They've
you know
been
what I mean?
They're fraudulent all year.
Who the hell's scared of them?
All right, 1 o'clock, Rams, week 3, at home.
So here's the deal. The Rams got to fly west to east. A 1 o'clock start, I don't think that's doing them any favors. In addition, they couldn't stop the run last year. You think their run defense got that much better? Hell no, I don't. I think that's a win. I think Saquon goes off again.
I think it's a dub again as well. I think we're 3-0, sitting pretty. The funny thing is we've played a lot of these teams on the schedule a lot in the last 2 or 3 years with the same quarterback, offense, head coach Vic Fangio at the same time too has played all these teams now for a second, third, fourth go around sometimes at this point. I think we have the Rams number in terms of defense. Weather permitting the last game, obviously, but I think we got this as a dub.
Yeah, I'm going to go dub as well. I feel like if this game were a little bit later in the schedule, I might feel differently. But this early, I think the Eagles will still be fresh enough. They're gonna come out and whip up on them Rams,
especially if they're coming home. You figure we do go 2-0. You beat Dallas and KC back to back. They come back to the link against another playoff team. The place is gonna be a playoff game every week down there.
Yeah.
So they'll want to beat them again. Jared Verse is back down there doing his fucking thing. Getting all hype with the crowd and all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's like the storyline's built.
Yeah. No, I think that's an easy win.
All right.
Week 4 in Tampa Bay.
All right.
The dreaded.
It's also hot again down there in September.
Every year we have to fucking play the Bucks in Tampa.
Yeah. Why do we play them every year?
I have no clue.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I have this as a loss, though.
Yeah, same.
It
just seems like a schedule loss.
Yeah, no, totally. But at the same time, I know what you're about to say.
I think it's gotta be. At what point does it end? At what
point? At some point we do need to break that curse.
Can we fucking not be dehydrated, get fucking smoked down there? I think we get a win. I would not be surprised if they lose, obviously, but my gut says loss, but my head is telling me win, so I'm going to say win.
All right. Next we got home versus the Broncos. Vic Fangio revenge game.
Yeah.
Now don't be
the Broncos.
I just said.
Broncos very well could have.
Bo Nix is nice, Yeah. He's really good, which is weird. I thought he was going to suck last season, but he's been good.
Yeah, I think I think we do win this game, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I think it's going to come down to I think the Broncos are going to be on a final drive, but then Bo Nix is going to throw a pick at the very end, seals it for the Birds.
I think we win.
But I think it'll be a good game.
I think Vic Fangio's defense gives up 3 points. He's out here to make a statement.
Yeah, I think we blow him out.
You fired me as coach. You fired me as coach. I'm coming for that ass. I'm holding you below a touchdown. I think they get a field goal, and that's all they get the whole damn game.
Yeah, and then we also kill Sean Payton. No, I'm kidding. I think we blow him out. I think it's a big win.
Yeah,
it reminds me of the last time we played the Broncos.
Bounty Gate on Sean Payton.
The last time we played the Broncos, we smoked that ass. We did.
No.
Yeah, we did. At home?
Oh, at home. Yeah, that was the 2017 season when Kenyon Barner was running touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I remember that. That was that day I almost fought that guy at Lucky.
That was a while ago.
I think we smoke him. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I think it's an easy win.
of them. So, all right, where are we at? We're through week 5.
Giants in New York. Dub.
If anyone has this as an L, although...
No, man.
No, I'm not scared of the Giants at all. The one thing going in their favor is that it is a short week. But we only have to travel.
We're taking a bus.
We only have to travel to New York. If we had to travel cross country, I'd be more concerned. So, no, I still have this as a win. But the short week thing, that's always weird. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Yeah.
But that's a dub.
It's the Giants.
Short week playing against a good
their
team.
Their schedule's hard, too.
They have the highest ranked strength of schedule.
They could easily be 0-10. Mm-hmm. Their schedule's really hard. So, yeah, I think that's a win.
I can't wait for the in-season hard dogs.
What a mix of, really good teams and just really shitty teams.
Yeah.
Well, only one shitty team. Dallas is always Dallas is a team that's probably bad, but they're like, we're going to win it this year, as always.
Dallas will also be interesting on the Hard Knocks, the whole George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb dynamic.
Oh, man.
That's about to be wild. Didn't Brian Schottenheimer, a new coach, try to manage those personalities?
With the ping pong table in the locker room
they're gonna be on some other shit.
Yeah. Someone said when they removed that ping pong table, week 7 is gonna hit like crack.
Yeah, that's
bad.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't usually really watch Hard Knocks like that. I might watch it here or there or see the clips on the internet. I might have to grab the popcorn for that. Like T.O. said, get your popcorn ready.
Yeah.
Then we come into now
we got the bye.
Nah.
No, not yet.
Or not yet.
Week
not
7.
Yet. We got
the bye is week 9.
Then we got Minnesota.
Oh, fuck.
Away.
I guess it's October 26th to
October.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks to bye, dog.
Now we go.
Oh, it's because it's the early week, so it's like a week and a half.
We have our first back-to-back away games, but no back-to-back home games.
Okay,
we go away to Minnesota. To be honest with you,
I was looking at the wrong. Sorry.
I still feel a win. I don't know what it is. I think
I ain't scared of Minnesota.
I think that had they had
I feel
Sam
like they got
Darnold
exposed
still,
pretty hard in the playoffs there.
definitely.
Dude, plus, they're coming back here with a rookie quarterback, which
That's all I'm
J.J.
saying.
McCarthy could be good. Oh, he could be very good.
I think
don't
Sam
think he's gonna
Darnold gave them the benefit of the doubt last season, right? As a veteran, as he is now, having 4,000 plus yards. You know, you put a decent quarterback with that offense, they should put up points, right? You got Justin Jefferson, you got the other guy there playing for him, whatever his name is. I don't see J.J. McCarthy coming into his first year and lighting it up like that.
Nah, yeah,
So
I ain't scared of them.
I think we beat them up pretty good.
Yeah, I have that as a win as well.
Yeah, I have a win too.
And then we're home before the bye with the Giants again.
Win.
A win. I don't,
And that one's at home.
Yeah.
45-0. Move on. So we're at the bye. Pat,
Yeah,
you
now
got
we're
us
at the bye.
8-0.
I got us 8-0 right now.
I got us 7-1. Trevor, you got us 7-1.
7-1.
All right, so then we come out of the bye.
And we go to Green Bay.
The big revenge game, these little bitches.
And to be honest, though,
Gonna tush push all over their ass.
here's the tricky thing, too, though. Here's another game where now we're playing this team a third time in 2 years.
Who the hell cares?
I'm just saying, it's not like you don't have any, like, gotcha moments. There's no surprising factor, right? There's a lot of pent-up energy for this game. Now you're playing in Green Bay, in Lambeau Field, right? I think we get a dub here. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not picking this to go undefeated, but I think that this is definitely a big win. Emotional games, usually the loser loses composure first. I think we're gonna hold it down, and I think we're gonna beat them. Close game in Lambeau, right? You're pushing. What is it now? November, could be a little chilly out there. A lot of running, but I think that we get a dub out here.
I'm not scared of them in the least. I think we win pretty handily. I think we run the tush push an extra lot amount.
Yeah.
We don't run it on every play, but we probably, as opposed to a normal game where we might run it, let's call it 3 or 4 times, we run
10.
it 7 or 8 times.
3rd and 2, we're doing a tush push.
Yeah, we're just abusing it to make a statement. And yeah, I mean, little known fact, Nick Sirianni's undefeated after the bye week.
Very reminiscent of Andy Reid in there, yeah.
I've been about this for 2 years. I've been saying that on the pod. He's undefeated after the bye week. I see no reason why that changes. That's a W.
Yeah, I think they'll take this.
Then we move on. Week 11 at home versus Detroit. The NFC Championship game everyone wanted to see.
Yeah.
But Detroit choked, so we didn't see it. I have this as an L. I think it'll be a really good game. I think it's a close game. Being at home, I could very easily see us winning. But it's a short week for us. We come off a Monday night game. Detroit ain't playing on Monday night. They get the extra day of rest. I could see
the fact that it's like later, a little later in the schedule. I feel like because they have they're going to have those new coordinators, they're going to take some time to figure things out. If this was earlier in the season, I think we'd be able to handle them. And I think, we can handle them theoretically, but yeah, I think, I feel like this might be a loss.
You have it as a win, don't you?
I mean, yeah.
I'm curious where you have our losses.
I'm not going to lie. Again,
you probably have us going undefeated.
no, I do not. But
you have us
here's
going
my reasoning.
16
Here's my
and 1.
reasoning. Here's my reasoning. I had Detroit came in with their whole coaching staff from last year. I say this was a loss for sure, right? But they lose their OC, they lose their DC, right? A lot of key players come back from injury. We'll see how that happens, right? This is Dan Campbell's kind of Nick Sirianni post his guys that got him to where he was era right now, right? 2 different coordinators. We'll see what they do. You're coming into Philadelphia after talking all that shit. I also think that Sunday Night Football bodes well for us. We're not coming home into a 1 o'clock game. You get a little extra time that way to heal up a little bit, as little as they may count. I think we win that game. I think that because if we were away, that'd be my first loss. But because we're at home, that's the only reason why I'm giving us a win on this game.
So you have us 10-0.
It's not unrealistic with this team right now in the Sirianni era.
Okay. I mean, I've learned not to doubt you or to doubt Sirianni after having to drink my own pee once. But I don't know.
I know it's tough. I think there's losses all scattered around this schedule, right? KC, obviously Rams, Tampa Bay. But I just think that the way that it falls right now and the way that this team is, I don't see it yet glaringly.
All right.
So I think it's going to be close. But again, had we been playing in Detroit, I think that's an L. But we're playing at home, Sunday Night Football. Come on now. Okay. November outside, all that shit they've been talking, especially if you figure, I don't know what Detroit's schedule is, but you figure we're coming into that Sunday Night Football game, if we're both undefeated or like 9-1 or 8, whatever that could be, that's going to be a playoff environment in there.
Okay.
And they're not ready for that shit because they could barely handle it the last time.
All right. We'll move on. Next, we got Week 12 at Dallas.
L.
Yeah, okay. All right, okay.
I'm saying I'm not unrealistic here. Yeah.
Although we did beat Dallas at home last year, but that Dak wasn't playing.
Again.
If Dak is healthy,
right,
I think we lose that game. Dak puts up numbers against us in Dallas. He always does.
He always kills us. I think that, at that point too, I think I had a split with Dallas last year as well. Before everything,
before Dallas just fell apart.
I think we lose that game. And what's that date on that? No. I think they get an L on that.
All right. Okay, Trevor, what you got?
So I'm predicting that there will be some injuries on Dallas by then. Maybe not.
So you have a win. Okay.
I'm gonna take.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna take
old sweep on Dallas.
Oh,
I like that.
Old sweep. I know it's like usually conventional wisdom that they're always gonna split that series, but I think, I think they get a win there.
All right.
5 days later, we have a game.
Yeah, Black Friday game.
That makes it tough.
But I ain't scared of the Bears.
I'm not afraid of the Bears, but now you want to talk about short weeks. We win. Obviously, we're home. I'm not worried about that shit. Was it a Friday night football?
Yeah, 3:00 game on Black Friday.
Weird.
That's going to conflict with the Flyers.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Weird shit could happen.
It's not Friday. It's Black Friday.
But week 13.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Settle down now. I can read a calendar. I'm just saying.
What are you talking about here? Okay.
I think we win. But
yeah, I have that as a win.
I think we win on some weird shit. The Bears have terrible time management, so that'll go in our favor. But I can just feel some kind of freaky shit going down on that 13th week 13 game.
Yeah, they might not have terrible
week
time
13 on a Friday is all I'm saying.
Caleb Williamson's a fraud, yo. I ain't scared of them. I think that's a win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a win too. I think it's going to take. Obviously they got Ben Johnson now. They got a little bit of hype around them, but I still think that they're a ways away from being competitive. Yeah.
Like, with all due respect, I have friends that are Bears fans, but it's the Bears.
The Bears.
So win on that. And then December 8th.
The Chargers. That's
Dub.
a home game for us.
No, it's away.
No, but essentially it's home.
For all intents and purposes, it's a home game for us.
And it's a 10-day break.
I ain't scared. Dude.
No. I'm saying we get a 10-day break on that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So the rest
Here's what I'm going to say. Everyone's still on Justin Herbert like he's the next best thing. He hasn't proven anything.
Yeah.
Like, you can say all you want about, Jim Harbaugh, he's a good coach. And I won't dispute that. He's a weird dude, but he's a good coach. But I just don't think that quarterback's it. It's basically a home game for us. I'm not scared of the Chargers in the slightest. People are painting them as a Super Bowl contender. My ass, dude. They're going to get eliminated in the first round again. You can book it. But we win that game.
I have this as a win as well.
Yeah, it's a dub. Big break. We're good to go.
Yep.
All right.
Then we move on to the Raiders at home.
The Chip Kelly comes home game. Damn, that's going to be a buck game.
I'm about to be fucking shitting down that tunnel.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I think we blow them out.
Fucking win, man. What the team sucks.
You remember the last time we played the Raiders at home?
Was that the
Christmas game? Christmas game, yeah.
I was there, baby. You were there too.
I remember that. I was worried at that point too because I was like, Nick Foles looks like ass.
Yeah,
even though we won
until that fumble.
Malcolm Jenkins is my guy.
Yeah.
But I ain't scared of the Raiders, and I think Howie's going to be telling Nick to pull out all the stops.
Oh, yeah.
Howie's going to say, yeah, I want to put 50 points up.
Yeah.
We ain't scared of him.
Hurry up offense on his ass. That'd be kind of fucking weird.
Give him a taste of his own medicine. Yeah, I ain't scared of that.
Yeah.
Kind of cool matchup, though, running back wise. I think it'd be, kind of cool.
Yeah.
You got Ashton Genty versus Saquon Barkley. Kind of.
You know what that is? That's the Harrison Bryant revenge game. The tight end we got off them.
I mean, that late in the season,
Yeah,
if he's still on the team, yeah.
He's going off.
Yeah.
He's getting 2 touchdowns that game. He killing it.
I like that.
All right, then.
So, dub there. And then we're away in Washington on a short week. 6 days later. A Saturday game.
So here's the deal. I don't think the Commander is going to be as good this year.
I don't think so either.
Their roster, you brought this up last week. Their roster is old as dirt.
Hello.
Other than Jaden Daniels, that roster is old. You mean to tell me in week 16, these guys are all going to be healthy when some of them are my age?
Right.
Absolutely not. So yeah, I think Jaden Daniels be healthy. He might be a little banged up, but some of these key players for them, Deebo Samuel's washed. Zach Ertz put up numbers last year, but how long is that going to keep up? Bobby Wagner's getting older. You know what I'm saying? I ain't scared of them.
It's also the
Frankie Louvu, go ahead and try to jump over the tush push.
Right.
See what happens. We'll just score a touchdown by default like we almost did the NFC Championship game. I think that's a win.
I also think
that's also a home game for us.
So. Right. I also feel like that, although not anymore, they're picking it up, honestly, Washington, but that first game we played in Washington, it was a close game, right? Then we go to Washington, and we're on a precipice of a 55-point burger right there.
Yeah,
then Hurts goes down, right?
Out, yeah.
So we lose that game because of bullshit. We really could have won that game handedly, but we sucked at end of that game. Then we don't see each other until the playoffs, and we know how that ended up, 55 on their head. I don't see this team as a contender against the Eagles at all. I think Vic Fangio has their number to a T. That defense tees off on these guys.
Yeah.
Like, you figure the first time we played them, first time seeing the whole division, no big deal. I'm really curious to see Vic Fangio playing our division in a second year with this scheme. Same players, new additions. You lost a couple guys here and there, but you also gained some good talent. I think we go to Washington and blow them out, to be honest with you. So I got it as another dub.
So hold on, where do you have us? You have us
14-1, 14-1, 15-1.
Jesus Christ. Trevor, where do you have us at? Are you paying attention?
I think I have 2 losses.
You guys ain't that far off. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I have 1 loss. You guys only have 2 losses.
No, I have 3.
Okay, well, 1, 2, 3.
You had the Cowboys losing. I had us, or you had the Cowboys losing 3. The second Cowboys.
And Detroit you had.
Yeah, I have Tampa, Detroit, and the Cowboys.
Right, I have the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Next week against the Bills, this I have as a loss.
That's an L.
Yeah, that's an L.
I think you're playing.
They always play really well at home down the stretch.
You're also playing Buffalo in December 28th.
Yeah, that weather's going to be nasty.
I mean, it could be fucking disastrous. So
I think it's a great game like the last time we played them.
I think it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
I don't have it as a definite loss as in Buffalo's going to kick our ass. I think it could be a very close game, but, you're in Buffalo. There's a lot of, what ifs with that team, right? What if we beat KC last year and had to play the Eagles? Maybe we could have won. What if overtime worked out differently and we could have won? But I think we come away with an L. A weird part of me wants to say a win, but I'm going to go with L right here at this point.
Yeah, they're too good at home down the
Especially
stretch.
playing probably a really tough Washington defense. Like, Washington could be an easy win, but you know how that shakes out that way. I think, you're getting a little tired week 17, whatever it is.
Yeah. All right, last game.
I mean, I feel like this all depends on how things are shaking out at this point. Like, if we have everything wrapped up and have nothing to play for, I think it's probably an L. But if it's like a game where we're still in it for the 1 seed, then that could probably be a win. But
I have it as a win either way. If we have something to play for, we beating that ass. If we don't have anything to play for,
we eating that ass.
Tanner McKee.
Yeah.
Goes 26 of 38 for 307 yards and 4 TDs. Wins NFC Championship or NFC Player of the Week. We win that game, we win the NFC East. that's a win.
I think we get a dub. I mean, I don't know about the storyline yet, but I think that, you're at home. You get 2 away, so we haven't been home since December 14th, right? So you figure you come back, it's going to be pretty late in the year, whatever that day could be. The fans are going to be ravenous, ready to roll. I think it's a dub on that. So
you got us, what do you have us, 15-2?
Is that how many games there are now? 17 weeks? Yeah.
Yes.
I have us 13-4. Trevor, you have us 14-3?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that last one as an L just because.
So that's 14-3 for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're all kind of in the same ballpark.
15-2. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I called it last year.
It's gonna be a good team.
You have us when that would mean you have us getting the 1 seed
easily.
See, I don't know about the 1 seed. There are a couple different factors at play. The Lions stand to be decent. You're going to hate this. Pat's definitely going to hate this. The Niners' schedule is cake. They have an easy-ass schedule, dude.
Talk about old-ass team. All that money on Brock. Anyway.
That's asinine that they did that.
Anyway, I mean, yeah. If fucking all these bum-ass guys come back from injury and play well, we'll see what they do. And they'll be all hyped up with their shit, playing all these shitty-ass teams, and that's okay. But if we come out the way we think we're going to come out as a solid base team, healthy, ain't no stopping us now.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Like, they haven't given us any reason to believe there's any slowdown on this team. We have the best offensive line in football. We have the best young defense in football with a great defensive coordinator for the 2nd year in a row, which is phenomenal. You have damn near everybody on the offensive side of the ball that's a playmaker coming back, locked up for the next 2 or 3 years. Nothing that we have done has given me reason to believe that we should not be dominant again this year coming up. Nothing. Okay. And there's no moves that anybody has made that's maybe quivered that way. Detroit only lost all their coordinators, and we know how that can damage people and see what they did that way.
I'll give you that.
And what? They play who? Oh, Green Bay. When we lose, we're going to make new rules to make it easier for us. Fuck all them, dude.
No, I'm not
the Vikings are some sorry-ass team. The Bears fucking blow. The Eagles, Washington had 1 good season, light in a bottle. We'll see what happens there. Dallas is fucking Dallas. The Giants fucking suck. NFC South is just a bunch of degenerates figuring out who's going to win that division and come out on top. They might beat us for a game. Woohoo, good for them, but fuck all that shit. We're all right. The NFC's a sorry-ass fucking conference.
You're not wrong. I don't know. We'll see. That's why they play the games, yo. I'm just saying.
I'm fired up. I'm ready to roll.
I don't think it's
start the season now.
I don't think it's a foregone conclusion we win the NFC. I think the NFC East, yes. We were the first repeat NFC East winner since like 2001. I think that happens, but the NFC, we'll have to wait and see.
NFC West, who the fuck? They got the Cardinals out there? They got the Seahawks out there?
The Rams. It's the Rams. It's going to be a Rams and Niners division, but whatever. We'll see.
We got Grandpa out there playing quarterback for the Rams. Anyway, I think we're all right.
Damn, the Phillies are up 9-3.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Well, I think that'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review our particular podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Rock over London. Rock on Chicago. 99 bananas. Flavor frenzy in every shot.